Hey guys, Gathering the Magic back again, and had a question on a recent video that I did asking about land and kind of wanting me to do like a land beginner video. Just wanted to have a video on what land plot should a beginner buy and how to choose a plot. So there's a lot of questions that I need to know or need to ask you about this guide. First of all, for land, the first thing is, how much are you looking to spend on a plot or plots? Right now, if you wanted to buy a land plot in-game, the only way to do so, since all these plots are already sold to players, and it's just basically players reselling them on the market, you'd have to go to Splinterlands, you would have to go to the market, you would have to go to other items, and right here, you could get a land plot claim for $110. Now, what this would be is you would get this claim, and then you would go to the map, and it would tell you on the right side the next available plot. So it's in region 139, track 4. So on the map, you could click on region 139. It will pull up the map, and it will kind of show you like where in the map your next plot will be. So it will be in this area right here. Then you would have to go and you would have to redeem that claim plot, and you would get the next plot in that track. Now, that is kind of a very risky way to do it, because as you can see right here, if I go by rarity and go by legendary, the keep has already been found for that track, so you have no chance of getting a keep for that plot. And it's a very expensive way to do it. So a much cheaper way to do it is to go to Peak Monsters, and on the top go to Buy Cards and go under Buy Land. This will pull up all the land that is available for sale, and it will sort by cheapest to most expensive. So instead of buying a plot and just kind of, hoping for the best, this is a way you can pick up some plots a little bit cheaper than that. So another question you need to ask yourself is, are you in a guild or do you have friends or guildmates that have land? So if you're a newer player, I'm not quite sure if you are playing with other players, if you just stumbled on Splinterlands on your own, if you have anyone else that you play with, or if you're in a guild. But if you are, you may want to send them a message and say, hey, I'm looking into getting into the land game. I'm looking at maybe getting a plot or two. What region are you in? And once they tell you what region, you can go on Peak Monsters, and here on the right, let's say you're looking for region 43. So that's the region that I'm in. You can type in 43, and this will show you all the different plots that are available for sale. And it'll sort by cheapest to most expensive. You can also look to see what rarity they are, whether they're common, rare, epics, legendaries, and the land type. So that's another question you need to ask yourself too, is you may want to choose a plot that has, friends or guildmates in that. Another question, if you're a beginner, what level cards do you have? Are you a beginner player that maybe is playing in bronze or silver, where maybe you don't have a lot of cards or have max level cards or anything like that? So if you have lower level cards, what cards can you commit to land? Because to be able to basically play the land game, you have to have certain cards in your deck that you're going to place as workers on that land plot, and those cards will not be able to be played in ranked battles or guild brawls. So you have to kind of say to yourself, okay, what cards am I willing to commit to land? So it will take, if you want to max out your land, 5 workers or cards per plot. So these are 5 cards that you're going to commit to each land plot if you want to max out that land plot, and those cards will not be able to be played in ranked or guild brawls. So once you ask yourself that question and kind of say, okay, these are the cards that I have, just some kind of side notes, you don't have to have max level cards. So don't feel like if you're a newer player or beginner player, like me, for my main account, I play in silver. I don't have a whole lot of like level 10 commons or level 4 legendaries that I couldn't commit to land. Just kind of go through your deck, go through your cards, and figure out what you can afford to set aside to play on land. And also, It costs 10,000 DEC per maxed worker card per plot. So with 5 worker cards on a plot, it could cost you up to 50,000 DEC that you have to stake on that plot. Now you're not spending it. That 50,000 DEC is still going to be in your account. It'll just be tied up on that plot. And just remember, you don't have to spend 50,000 DEC. That's one of the things that I looked at, and I did a previous video on it where one of my strategies was to either go for gold foil commons, or later on what I ended up doing was getting some gold foil legendaries. So what I would do is I would go to the market and I would look at gold and I would look at epics, and then I would sort by price to find the cheapest ones. And I would look at, okay, so if I have a plot and I can use a death card on it, now it's going to cost me $8.19 for this one card. But an epic, for production points, as I load this up, a single copy of a gold epic is going to give you 600 production points, which is good for a beginner to get started on a plot of land. So if you don't have a ton of money or a ton of DEC you want to spend, you could go with just 1 or 2 gold foil epics. Each one is going to cost you 1,000 DEC, and that may be very affordable for you to get started on land. So 2 gold foil epics is 1,200 production points, and it's only going to cost you 2,000 DEC. So don't feel like because you don't have a ton of money or a ton of cards you can't get started with land. Do what you feel that you are comfortable with as far as your cards and as far as your budget. The next question that I would ask you too are, what are your goals with land? If you're a beginner player, that's kind of saying to me that you just kind of want to try it out and see what it is and how it develops over time, and you just want to be involved, as opposed to someone that's maybe been around and played the game for a couple, 3 years. You've heard about land, you've done deep dives into land, you're really looking to make a profit for it, you really want to go heavy into land. So I'm guessing you're probably not that player. You're probably the player that's just going to try it out and see how it develops. So those are the assumptions I'm going to make. So as far as looking to spend, I'm going to try to come up with a guide for you so it's like maybe $100 or less to kind of just get started. So this is by no means financial advice or me telling you what to do. This is just my suggestion on, if you're not looking to spend a whole lot of money, how you can get started maybe with 1 or 2 plots and just have some fun with land and you know, be a part of it. So the first thing, like I said, I think you would do is go to Peak Monsters. And let's just assume that you don't have a specific region in mind. I would suggest just looking at the cheapest price and commons, not really focusing on the rares or epic plots or anything like that. And another thing I would really suggest, because there are a lot of them that are cheap, go down and check on the bottom right where it says building in a box and check yes. So what this will do is this will give you the building in the box, and what this is when Land 2.0 goes live and you go to build a building, this will pay for the resource cost for that building. You're still going to have workers on it, and you're still going to have to construct the building, but you're not going to have to go and buy the wood or the stone or the iron or the resources that are necessary to construct a level 1 building. So this is very important to have. Building in the box, I believe, also comes with a power core to power your workers, and if you don't have that, that would be an extra 5,000 DEC, or about a $5 cost. So if you're just getting started, I would highly recommend going for the building in the box. Don't worry too much about unstable totem. Building in the box is key. So as you can see here in Region 69, Moriarty has posted a bunch of plots that are $36. So let's look at what these plots are. So they're common, so they're not going to give you any type of bonuses as far as extra production. The types are swamp and bog. So what the terrain types will do is, if you have a swamp, the monsters that you can use to get a bonus are water and death. So those were for a swamp, and the other one was a river. So a river is good for water and earth cards. So the next thing to kind of look at too is, do you have specific splinters that you can set aside to put on your land plots? And what will you be able to do with these when the next phase of land goes live? So when land goes live, let me look at Secret of Pretoria, just to look at the buildings, and this will tell you, based on your terrain type, what you will be able to produce on those. So if you had a river, you're going to be able to produce a farm. If you had a swamp, you'll be able to produce a logging camp. So you're looking at grain and wood. So if you're starting out, I would suggest going for either a bog, a lake, a river, or a plains, because those are going to allow you to produce grain, and you're going to need grain to feed your workers. So I think if you're a beginner, you definitely want to have a grain producing plot. So let's say you have $100 to spend. I would probably go with the common river for 36. If you wanted to do more than just have the one plot, you could also pick up the common swamp for another 36, and that way you've got two plots. One will produce grain, one will produce wood. So now the key is, do you have cards that you are already willing to spend on land, or are you going to have to buy some off the market? And what kind of production points are you looking to spend and all that kind of thing? Like I said, for me, I like doing the gold foil epics. So if you want to have like more workers, you could just get like one plot for $36, and then just you'd have $60 to buy workers for that land. So epics being $8 or $9 a piece, you could buy several different ones. So let's just say, for example, you do buy these two plots of land. So you're going to buy, let's say you buy two plots. You buy the common river, and that's $36, and you buy the common swamp for another 36. So now you've got $28 left. So now in Splinterlands, what you could do, since you have $28 left, you could buy, if you wanted to, you could buy one of each, two gold foil epics. So swamp, you could buy water or death, and then lake, you could buy water or earth. So it looks like water would be a main one. Water might be a little more expensive. Well, not too bad, $8.75. So you could buy a wave brood, and you could buy a weirding warrior. So you've got one for each plot. So you're looking at about another $17. So two gold foil epics, one for each plot. You're looking at about another $17. So now you're up to, what is that, 89? So you've got $11 left. You're going to need 2,000 DEC for those two cards. So that's about another $2. So you've got a little bit of funds left over. So 89. So you've got about $11 left over. You could actually buy one more gold foil epic. So let's just say you're going to buy one more gold foil epic, and that's going to cost you, let's say you buy another cheap weirding warrior, so a little over $8. So you're going to spend 25. So now you need 3,000 DEC, because they're 1,000 DEC each, and that's another $3. So now you're looking at 72, 92, 95, $100. So there you go. So what this will give you is you will have a common river, which has one gold foil epic card on it. You will be producing 600 production points, plus an extra 10% because it is the correct splinter, so another 60 production points. So you'll be getting 660 production off your river. And then for your swamp, you put two gold foil epics. You put those two death cards on it. So you've got two gold foil epics. You're going to be producing 1,200 production, plus another 120. So you're looking at, of course, twice as much. you're looking at 1,320 production, which is by no means maxed out, but for a beginner, it's good to get started. Now realize too that these are also going to take time to clear. So at 660 production points, it's going to take quite a while to clear a common plot of land. So to clear a common plot of land, I believe was 1.5 million production points. So you're going to have to clear your land. So you're looking at 1.5 million PP to clear a common plot. So if you're dividing that by 660, that's going to take a long time. So that's going to take you 2,273 hours. Which equals, divide that by 24, you're looking at just under 95 days. So about 3 months. So if you don't have a rush to get into land, it's going to take you 95 days to clear that plot. Now what you can do instead is put all 3 of your cards on the same plot. So now if you have all 3 cards on the same plot, so you've got river and swamp. So you've got the 2 death cards for the swamp, and for the river you've got the 1 water card. They have bonuses. Well, both rivers have a bonus, or the water card is a bonus on each one. So that is good. So that'll help a little bit. So you have the 3 gold foil epics. Let's say you have 1 gold foil epic there and 2 gold foil epics there. So this is going to help you a little bit. So you're 1.5 million. Now you're going to combine all of them. It's going to be roughly 1,900 points, give or take. So that's going to take you just over a month, about 33 days. So it's going to be approximately 33 days to clear the plot. So it's going to take you 33 days to clear the plot. Now granted, this is beginner. This is not spending a lot of money on the game. You know, not a lot of production, so it is going to take a while. But after that time is done, then you can take those cards, move it to your other plot, and you can get 2 plots up and running. So that's just kind of a rough beginner guide and what you can do, and that's just to get started. You know, like I said, you don't have to have max cards, you don't have to max out, you know, or spend a ton of money. You know, even for $100, you can get a couple plots, and if you're patient, you can get them, you know, up and running in a decent amount of time. Now, if you don't want to wait that long, you can also buy time crystals. So time crystals are something else that you can look at. So time crystals will cost you a little bit of money, but not too bad. So each time crystal basically is worth, I believe it's, is it 150 production points or 1,500? Because I know for a common plot, oh, each one is worth 10,000. That's right. Each one is 10,000 production points. So you need 150 time crystals to clear a plot. Okay, yep, that's right. So you need 150 time crystals if you just, you know, I don't want to wait a month, I don't want to wait 3 months, I just want to clear these plots. So for the time crystals, what you want to do is you want to go to other items, and you want to go to time crystals. So you're going to need 150 of these. So if you were to purchase 150, you're looking at just about $12. So what you could do is, if you didn't want to spend any extra funds, you wanted to keep it to $100, buy 1 fewer gold foil epic. So that's going to save you about $8, and you know it's going to cost you, what did I just say, about $12. So if you buy 1 fewer gold foil epic, you're going to have 660 production on each plot, and then with that little bit of extra money, you can put that towards time crystals and that will get one of your plots cleared right away. Now, if you want to clear both plots, it's going to be, so it's about 12 bucks. So to clear both properties, it's going to be about 24 bucks. So it's up to you how you want to spend, you know, and like I said, this whole example is based on $100. So it just depends on what you want to spend for cards, how many plots. Of course, if you only want one plot, you know, you can get one plot for 36. You can get crystals to clear it right away for 12. So now you're looking at 48. So then that gives you 50 bucks to figure out what cards and how much DEC you have. So there's several different options to get started with land with a beginner account. So definitely look into time crystals. You know, it is a little bit of money, but if you don't have a lot of production and you are a beginner player, you know, most people don't want to wait 1 to 3 months not doing anything with land, just waiting for it to clear. So it's definitely worth it to spend that little bit of money. You know, if it's in your budget, clear it right away, and then you can start working your land. So hope this helps answer your question about a beginner guide. This is by no means the only way that you can go if you're starting out. Just kind of wanted to give you an example of something that you could do if you just want to get started. But yeah, my suggestion would be definitely find out if you have friends or guildmates that are in land. Get a plot, you know, in a region that they're in, so you guys can work together. Don't feel like you have to commit a ton of money or a ton of cards or a ton of DEC to this. Get started with the budget that you have, and ask yourself what your goal is. Are you going to be in Splinterlands the next 3, 4, 5 years, or are you just trying this out just to see what happens? So hope this helped. Thank you again for the question, and if anyone else has any other questions about land or Splinterlands in general, please leave those in the comments, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Okay guys, stay the course, keep on forging, and have fun with land, Splinterlands, Splinterforge, and we'll see you soon. Take care.